Have you ever had that one person? The one you think about late at night, wondering what could have been? The one that, for whatever reason, slipped through your fingers? We all have a story like that. A ghost from a past relationship that still haunts the quiet corners of our minds. It's that feeling of what if? What if the timing had been different? What if I had said the right thing? What if we had just held on a little tighter? For me, her name was Sarah. Back in college, Sarah was everything. She had this laugh that could fill a room and a way of looking at the world that made everything seem brighter, more possible. We were inseparable. We'd spend hours talking about our dreams, our fears, everything under the sun. It felt like we were two pieces of a puzzle that had finally found each other. I was convinced she was the one. But life, as it often does, had other plans. We were young, ambitious, and standing at a crossroads. I got a job offer on the other side of the country, a dream opportunity I couldn't pass up. She was accepted into a prestigious grad school program in our hometown. We talked about making it work long distance. We promised we'd try it. The late night talks became less frequent, replaced by the pressures of new careers and new lives. The breakup wasn't a big, dramatic explosion. It was a slow, quiet fade. A painful, unspoken agreement that our futures were pulling us in opposite directions. And just like that, she became the one that got away. For years, I carried that regret like a stone in my pocket. Every new relationship, every milestone, was subtly compared to what I'd lost. I'd see something that reminded me of her, a specific brand of coffee, a song on the radio, and the nostalgia would hit me like a wave. It wasn't that I hadn't moved on. I built a life, had other relationships, and found success. But there was always this lingering echo, this shadow of a different life I could have lived. I wondered if she ever thought about me, too. Did she ever look back and feel that same pang of what if, or was I just a forgotten chapter in her story? I told myself it was for the best. We were kids. We wanted different things. Timing is everything, and ours was just off. It was a neat little story I told myself to make the regret easier to bear. A way to close the book on that chapter of my life. But the truth is, some books never truly feel closed. You just put them back on the shelf, knowing you might pull them down again someday. I had no idea how soon that day would come. Then, about a month ago, it happened. I was at a cafe in my neighborhood, the one I go to every morning, when I heard a familiar voice say my name. I turned around, and there she was. Sarah, after 10 years. For a second, my brain couldn't process it. It was like seeing a ghost, but she was real, standing right there. She looked different, of course. More mature, a few laugh lines around her eyes that weren't there before. But the smile was exactly the same. And in that moment, 10 years elapsed into a single second. We stood there for a moment, just staring, caught in this surreal bubble of time. The initial shock gave way to a flood of questions. What are you doing here? I thought you were still on the East Coast. How have you been? It was awkward, clumsy, but also electric. We ended up grabbing a table and talking for 3 hours. The coffee went cold, the cafe emptied out, but we didn't even notice. We were catching up on a decade of life. Marriages, divorces, career changes, travels, the big stuff, the small stuff, all of it. She told me she'd moved back a few months ago for a new job. She was divorced, no kids. She looked at me and said, for years I told myself we were just too different, that it never would have worked. I just nodded, because I had told myself the exact same thing. It was our shared defense mechanism, the story we both created to cope with the loss. But hearing her say it out loud, after all this time, made it feel so flimsy, so untrue. We started seeing each other casually at first, a coffee here, a dinner there, but it didn't feel casual. Every conversation felt significant, like we were excavating the past, trying to understand where it all went wrong. And the more we talked, the more I realized something profound. We weren't the same people who broke up 10 years ago. I wasn't that ambitious, naive kid anymore, and she wasn't the girl with her life mapped out. Life had humbled us, changed us, molded us in ways we never could have predicted. The regret I'd carried for so long started to shift. It wasn't just about losing her anymore. It was about the person I was back then. I was so focused on my own path that I couldn't see how to merge it with hers. I was scared. Scared of commitment, scared of sacrifice. And now, seeing her again, I was face to face with the man I've become. A man who understands that a career isn't everything, A man who values connection and shared experience more than individual achievement. The things that pulled us apart back then, they don't seem like insurmountable mountains anymore. They feel like small hills we were just too inexperienced to climb. This is the tricky part, isn't it? When the one that got away comes back. It's not a simple fairy tale ending. You can't just pick up where you left off, because where you left off doesn't exist anymore. You're dealing with two different people, shaped by a decade of separate experiences, heartbreaks, and joys. The nostalgia is powerful, a warm, comforting blanket. It's easy to romanticize the past and forget the reasons you broke up in the first place. You start to wonder, is this a second chance? Or are we just trying to recapture a feeling that's long gone? We're trying to figure that out now. We're navigating this strange, new territory between past and present. There's a cautious optimism, a hope that maybe, just maybe, the timing is finally right. Maybe we had to go our separate ways to become the people who could finally be right for each other. Maybe the decade apart wasn't a tragedy, but a necessary part of our journey. Or maybe we're just two people chasing a ghost, trying to rewrite an ending that was already written. It's a terrifying and exhilarating thought. Everyone wonders about their one that got away, but very few people get the chance to find out what happens next. To see if the fantasy can survive the reality. Can you really go back? I don't know the answer yet, but what I do know is that for the first time in 10 years, the what if doesn't feel like a regret. It feels like a possibility. What do you think? Can a second chance with the one that got away ever truly work? Have you ever experienced something like this? I'd love to read your stories and your thoughts in the comments below. It helps to know we're not alone in these complicated human experiences. Thanks so much for watching and sharing this journey with me. If this story resonated with you, please consider liking the video and subscribing for more. Don't forget, the heart remembers what the world forgets.